How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? It's Ostish, back to bring you another video. I'm just out here fishing at the moment, but I figured I was just thinking it'd be kind of a good time to do a little update video. I looked at my YouTube channel. It's been a year since I posted in the community tab that I was going to make a video about this, and I guess I kind of just wanted to go into the reasonings as to why um, the content has been lacking lately. So let's get into it. So the first thing is achromatic revolution, or the Ostish music, or whatever, the musical covers, guitar covers, whatever. Um, those I said almost 3 years ago now, I think it'd be, that I was going to upload those within the next year, and I didn't. So I just want to say sorry about that. I have a lot of demos, and there was a lot of issues, but thankfully these demos got somewhat finished. And I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to these things, and I hate the way all these demos, like, I honestly think they're dog shit. But some people like them that have listened to them. I'm gonna try to upload them eventually. It's just I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to these things, so I'm constantly trying to find new audios, or dot wavs, or whatever you call them. I can't even remember. I haven't used them in a long time. I used to always use Reaper and Audacity, and I hate my vocals, and I hate the way the guitar sounds on them. But I do like how I had help from a person online finish this stuff. His name is Creeper Killer. He actually helped work on the Sales Squad channel, which I'll get into as well. But he used the drums, so huge help for him. Thanks for that. But the Achromatic Revolution videos, or the music videos, are videos I want to upload, and I gotta get over the fact that I gotta just upload them, because I spent a long time working on all these covers and music, songwriting and all that shit, and nothing ever came out of it, and I'm kind of pissed at myself for that. But yeah, hopefully very soon here that I'll upload those videos and just be done with it, because it's been pretty stressful trying to work on music and all the little things that come with it, and I'd rather just do it as a hobby and not really put myself out there. The next one is bushcraft videos. Obviously, for those of you who have subscribed for the bushcraft videos, there's been quite a lot of, or I guess not a lot of, videos of the bushcraft genre. I guess technically you could consider this kind of like naturey or whatever, but I know that that's been lacking a lot, and I really apologize for that. Life really, I had a lot going on with life, and it's kind of, this is going to be kind of a reasoning for all this too, but especially the bushcraft videos. I'd come home from working 10-12 hours, and it's like, dude, I don't want to fucking go outside into the woods. Even though I love being out there, I just don't have the energy for it, and I have to wake up the next morning at 5:30 in the morning. It's like, I don't have time for this. You know what I mean? It sucked, because I'd much rather be out there bushcrafting. But there's going to be more videos of that coming very soon, and I will get into that in this video as well, why that's going to occur more. On the Sales Squad side of things, now I might even upload this video onto Sales Squad for a little update for the fans that were on there. Sales Squad was not something that was very particularly big. We had a couple people that really liked it, but the hard part about Sales Squad is, during the time when I was working on Sales Squad, it was predominantly me pushing for making videos, pushing for thumbnails, pushing for editing, all that shit. It was me behind almost all of it, aside from the actual intro. I actually had help from a guy by the name of Steak Sticks, I believe. I don't know. But if this is on Sales Squad channel, I'm sure there's a link around somewhere for him. And he helped with that intro. Other than that, it was just me editing for Sales Squad, me doing the audio, everything. And on top of that, I had 2 jobs. I worked Monday to Friday at my first job, and I believe at the time that was 9 to 10 hours. It was kind of like, never really knew if I was going to get overtime or not. And then Saturday, Sunday, weekend, I was at another job for 10 hours. And when you have 2 jobs and you're editing for 2 YouTube channels, doing all sorts of shit, And that's not even including what's going on in your own personal life. Like, I got burnt out like that, dude. So it kind of sucks, but at the same time, Sales Squad, it just fizzled out. Just as fast as I brought it back, it fizzled out again. And it sucks because me and all my buddies that were in on the Sales Squad channel, we had a lot of ambitious things for Sales Squad. We wanted to do skit videos and have like a whole backstory about Sales Squad. This isn't to say that Sales Squad is gone forever. It's just right now I need to focus more on playing. I need to focus more than just playing games, like video games all the time. You spend all this time putting all this effort into this shit, and I'm passionate about playing like old games and stuff like that. I love retro games, all that, but it's such a hard thing to get into on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is, you can find hundreds of millions of gaming channels made every other week that are blowing up, and it just sucks because you spend all this time and money into something, and it's not like I went in with the expectation of making money on Sales Squad. None of us did. We kind of wanted to do it more as a passion, but it's like, dude, it is a letdown to spend, weeks making these videos just for it to get like 5 views. It's not like the equipment that we got will ever pay itself off in the end, and I shouldn't even say we, I should say I. And I'm not trying to be like sound selfish or like a dick, but like everything was basically my equipment. Aside from maybe the consoles, we'd be playing on like one of my buddy's consoles or whatever. And that just kind of blows. Because the editing too, it's just, there were multiple times where I'd be editing a really long video, 2-hour long sit down playthrough of a game, and then I'd be kind of splitting it, splicing it, making little edits, improving the audio as much as I could, and then boom, like my computer would crash or the software would crash, and it's like I have to start all this shit over, and it really fucking sucks to spend so much time on something like that, especially for gaming, and you try to make it all flashy and interesting, and it's like, dude, the shit just crashed after me working on this for the past 8 hours. Like, I lose my fucking mind. So, I stopped on Sales Squad. I couldn't keep doing it. If I do come back to Sales Squad, I want it to be more like, a lot more like, I don't know, flashy, if that makes sense. That was the whole point of Sales Squad, was to, make the edits up to par as like something akin to whatever's like trending on gaming, like edits like that. And that's what I was going for. It didn't really work out. And a lot of times my computer was crashing or whatever. Either way, the Sales Squad channel is not done. Actually, I'd like to get back into it very soon. I just need to kind of teach my buddies how to edit more, because I am not going to edit for 2 channels all the time consistently. It's just, no, I'm not doing that. The other thing too is, this regards Sales Squad and this channel, is for those of you who joined the Ostish channel a long time ago for like video games and stuff like that, unfortunately I'm not going to keep doing that on this channel. I will spend more time in the Sales Squad channel playing games and stuff like that. So if you're interested, you only joined, if you only joined this channel because of video games, and that was the only reason that you were interested in this channel, I'd highly, highly recommend going to watch the Sales Squad channel with me and my friends. Subscribing to that, because this channel, while I might have little bits and pieces of like games here and there for like maybe reviews or something in the future, I am going to be strictly almost avoiding video game content on this channel, on my personal channel. And you can go watch Sales Squad for that, really. It's not, actually, I think it'll be much better. It'll have more people in it. It'll be much more entertaining than it was just me, myself, and a lot more edits and stuff like that. So if you're interested in the gaming stuff, definitely check out Sales Squad. If you're already on the Sales Squad and you're watching this video, well, you're in the right place. Unless you want to come to my personal channel and watch more the stuff that I'm going into in this video, feel free to do that too. One of the other things is something that I don't think very many people on my channel ever came here from, but there might be a few. It's called, there was a story that I was working on called Under the Bomb, and I started it on one of those book writing websites like Wattpad or something like that. I believe it was called. I've been working on that story for almost 6 years, kind of on and off here and there. And if you join this channel for that, I've got to say sorry because I've never once never once talked about it on here, never made any updates or anything like that. And I guess to make the update that I want to give for that is from the Wattpad or however you pronounce that thing, from that website or book site, whatever. I didn't update the story since 2018. And there's a lot of that story that I want to change from that point. But if you did read that, I've got to say there is a hell of a lot more content, like a lot more content. Like I said, this has been 6 years of me dabbling on like different things about this story that I really enjoy. I've changed some things, moved some stuff around, changed some plot points and stuff like that. Definitely is going to be a much bigger story than what I presented on Wattpad. That was more of like, honestly, a rough draft of the story, if anything, and it didn't even come close to even the halfway point of that story. The main issue I have with Under the Bomb is I get a lot of writer's block with that. I think that's the word, where I'll be writing and then I just stop for like months on end, sometimes even a year, and then I come back to it after like dabbling for a year, like how do I continue this story? How do I continue the plot from here in a meaningful way that isn't cheesy or stupid? And then it's like, bam, I think of something, like I gotta go write that down. I really do take a lot of, that's one of my passion projects that I don't really talk about, but Under the Bomb is definitely one of those things that I put on the back burner a lot. In the past year, I've strictly tried to keep moving on it and keep writing more stuff about it, and it's going to be a very long story. I don't think that I'll finish it anytime soon, because I know the key plot points that I want to have, I know how I want it to end, and to get the story to that point, it's going to take a long time, couple years at least from now, before that story's even finished. And I'd like to get back into that. I'd like to maybe even start to like publish it, possibly, if it's interesting enough for some people. At the very like minute level, or like the very surface level of what this story is, it's about kind of like an apocalypse sort of story. But again, that's a very surface level interpretation. I don't really want to spoil it too much, but it is a story that that I've definitely kind of injected myself in some of the personal things that I've dealt with, or even some of the things that other people that I know and care about, my loved ones, have dealt with, into this almost like a horror kind of story, and like a survival horror type of genre thing, where eventually the main character kind of figures out how to deal and cope with all this trauma and all this shitty stuff that's happened to him and the people around him. And at the time that I started this story, I was really into The Walking Dead, so that's where the apocalypse part comes in. But it's not just about that. Honestly, like, I just need some sort of I needed something to carry this, like, on the sideline, carry the story to make it somewhat like easy for somebody that just stumbled on it, like, oh yeah, I like apocalypse stories and stuff like that. But at its core, I think Under the Bomb is a hell of a lot more important. It's way more important than just an apocalypse story. It's actually more of a self-improvement type of story. And I've definitely got some inspirations from that one for different books. And I think some of you definitely know what kind of inspiration, or what inspired me during the writing process of that. And there's definitely a big one, and it's coming up in this list, that inspired me to start writing in general, but also definitely from the moment I started this story. Even though Walking Dead was a little bit of an inspiration, there was another story that really, really inspired me from the day one that I started Under the Bomb. Anyways, I do want to get more into that, and I kind of want to try and publish that. I want to post more about it, because I have just hundreds upon hundreds of pages of so many parts of the story and how I want the story to go, and I feel like I let those people down that were interested in that story from years ago, because if you read that story, it was like maybe 3 chapters, and then it just got cut off, and that it's been like that since 2018. So if I can figure out how to use Wattpad again, I'll definitely try. But I'd like to go more in depth with different things, and I'd like to even maybe possibly make it like a graphic novel similar to like the Walking Dead type of style, something like that, you know. But that's still a while from now. But I definitely do want to post like, you know, like a novel, average novel type of story first, and then maybe go into a graphic novel with that story. Anyways, to the videos in production right now, personally, on my Ostish YouTube channel, not the Sales Squad, not anything else. This is for the Ostish one. I want to say that I'm kind of, like, aside from what I'm making in this production thing right now, which some of these have been in production for almost a year, I'd like to change the theme to self-improvement and kind of like workout vids and stuff like that. And see if people would like that, because that's kind of where I'm at right now in life. I kind of lost my mind, and I haven't really been honest with myself in the past couple of years about some of the shit that I stopped giving a shit about, like all the things that I really cared about and like prioritized, like my health and my heart issues and all the stuff that I used to deal with were like number one. And then I don't know, something just kind of snapped in me, man, and I don't know how to really put it into words, but I was stuck in a place that I didn't want to be, and it took me a long time to get out of that place. Thankfully, that started with me renting out my house, which I never really posted on YouTube. I wanted to, but I did purchase a house a couple of years ago, around like when COVID was a huge thing, quarantine and all that. But thankfully, I got it to rent out my house, and now like I'm doing shit like this all the time. Like I'm basically living in nature. And that's something that I've always really, it's definitely been drastic on my mental health, being in places like this and working out and getting into the stuff that I'm really passionate about. Not so much just because like I'm passionate about it as a cool hobby, more like I want to prioritize my health. Like I want to work on myself emotionally, spiritually, and like physically. And the past couple of years, I stopped. And part of it is because like I was just so overloaded with shit and stress, and the other part of it is obviously like I gotta blame myself that sometimes I just didn't do it anymore. I had no ambition anymore. It was just, life was dull, very gray, kind of like, I don't mean to sound cheesy, but like I feel like I've been like in a fucking dream for the past like 5 years, like not even a good one, like just like I've been kind of dreaming and just getting by, you know, just trying to get by. But lately, like, there's just been color in my life again. If that, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. That sounds a little fucking cheesy, but, you know. Anyways, that's kind of what I want to speak about, too. I kind of want to help more people on this YouTube channel with the self-improvement style videos, because I feel definitely guilty. I've lost a lot of friends and people I cared about because of like stuff that just isn't taken seriously enough in today's society. And I would love to, like, you know, I kind of feel fucking guilty a little bit of some of the shit that's happened to the people that I've been around, and I feel like I definitely could have done more to prevent the shitty stuff from happening to them. And I don't know, I just like to be like inspire people a little bit, you know, give them hope, you know what I mean? Because I've definitely been there where I've lost hope. I feel like a lot of people have, and some people don't ever get that hope back. And you know, obviously some shitty things can happen, and I would like to help people get out of that if I can. Especially because I've been in those positions for the most part. But either way, that's going to be in the future coming up, so I'm going to try to not get too much into that. But anyway, the videos that are in production right now are, there's a Berserk review video. I think I uploaded, what the hell is that? I think I uploaded a video about that a couple months back, how I started production on that. And I did, but then I kind of stopped because I was just so worried about renting in my house and all this stuff. Truthfully, I should be working on it right now, but I needed to do stuff like this a lot more than I did need to sit on a computer and work on a review video. And that's not to say that I don't want to work on that, but I'd say the Berserk video is about 20% done. It's going to be a long one, and I want it to be good. I want it to be a good video, because Berserk is definitely a series that has inspired me and helped me in a lot of ways, and I think a lot of the people that read Berserk can say that it is a very impactful story. I have a Far Cry 5 video that I started probably 2 years ago now in production, and I think it's about 10% done. That's another one that I kind of want to spend more time on, because I think that Far Cry 5 was one of the most impactful games for me to play. It reminds me a lot of like my own life, I guess, if that makes sense. I mean, it's not some cheesy like, oh yeah, you're getting attacked by pirates. It's like, dude, this is Montana. Like, Montana's not that far from me. A lot of these people, I don't know. If you played Far Cry 5, you can attest to it. I think some people can. It's kind of creepy that Far Cry 5 is almost like it almost predicted some of the shit that was about to happen that we're dealing with today. Regardless, that one is that's not even close to being finished yet. And I have an Elden Ring video. I wanted to do a little review on that. I really liked Elden Ring. I really enjoyed that game. It was the first Souls game that I got into. I was actually thinking about getting into Souls 3, but then Elden Ring came out like around the same time I was thinking about buying that, so I bought that instead. Really loved it. Obviously, of course, I'm going to love Elden Ring. I mean, as a Berserk fan, how can you not play a Dark Souls game and be like, dude, this is awesome? So, especially with like the little tributes Elden Ring had for Berserk after the shitty year that it was for the fans when the author passed away. I fucking loved Elden Ring, and it was definitely a steep learning curve, but I got all my friends into it, and gosh, I really did enjoy Elden Ring, and I think that games coming out these days need to seriously take notes from that game for how damn good it was, how fun it was. That was the first time in a long time I had the same feeling that I was like playing Zelda 1 on the NES for the first time again. That's what Elden Ring gave me, and I loved it. Vinland Saga is another one that I want to do a review on. I love Vinland Saga. I just got into it recently. I think it's awesome. I've read a little bit of it. I've watched the anime as well. Great story. It's just similar to why I like Berserk. It knows how to speak about self-improvement and stuff like that. So that's another one I want to work on. That one I haven't even started yet. Then I have these music-y type of ones that I wanted to talk about, which is I wanted to go into like a review of Seether, why I liked these bands or these musicians at the time when I really got into them. Seether, Extentacion, Juice, and Peep, like that genre right there. Why I think that they were so impactful, and the kind of what happened. What I mean. Definitely there were some more bands I wanted to talk about too, but either way, that's gonna be coming later on. Definitely haven't started that one yet, and I need to. I want to talk about the Resident Evil 4 remake. I want to do a review on that. It's not finished yet. I haven't even really started it, to be honest. But Resident Evil 4, I want to talk about the remake and maybe even just play a playthrough of that or two. Maybe might even do it on Skill Squad instead. Silent Hill 2 remake, when it comes out, we'll see how that goes. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think Silent Hill 2 is one of the best Silent Hill games, and it is if you haven't played Silent Hill 2, you need to. I mean, it is a game that just, I don't really have words for how nuts that game is, but there's not very many games that can make me bawl my eyes out, but Silent Hill 2 ending, every time I read it, or every time I hear the letter in the ending, I can't, dude. that is a game filled with such emotion in a survival horror game, which is insane to me how they did that. But really enjoyed that. Hopefully I enjoyed the remake. And then there's a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake coming out, which should be coming out quite soon. I know the 3 ports of Metal Gear coming out sometime in the next month, I think. But the remake, I think, comes out after that. And I've always loved Metal Gear. I love that series. It's kind of awesome to me how they predicted how much shit that we're going to be living in these days, like 20, 30 years ago. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to have to cut it short here. I wouldn't really even say short. It's been 25 minutes, but I'm looking at my camera right here, and it says I only have 28 minutes before it just shuts off completely, so my storage is not very open here. But hopefully that gave you guys somewhat of an update. I apologize that I haven't really been as transparent with you guys, and I am sorry that this happens quite a bit on my YouTube channel where I go on these little hiatuses. It's just there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on in my life and a lot of changes, and hopefully most of you can understand that and know that I definitely have a lot of ambition when it comes to like my passion stuff, but a lot of this passion hobby stuff had to get put on the side for me prioritizing different things in my life. I'm in the spot now where I can start to like prioritize these a little bit more, and I'd love to get back into it because I feel like I've let a lot of you guys down. I know my channel isn't huge, but it's big enough to the point where it's like there's a decent amount of following here that, you know, they expect things and they don't get it, and it's like, dude, like I do feel genuinely bad for like the bushcraft people especially. You guys haven't seen a video in like almost 5 years now. Yeah, it's definitely something I'd like to change. My video is about to run out, so just wanted to update you guys. Thanks for staying. If you're new, thanks for joining. And hopefully I can, you know, pull this off this time because it's definitely been interesting trying to pull it off so far. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already to see all this stuff that I'm talking about. If you're not on the Sales Squad channel yet, go check that out if that interests you. Vice versa, if this is on the Sales Squad and you're watching it on Sales Squad, come check out my channel, Ostich. And yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting me. And hopefully I can pull this all off and entertain you guys. And yeah, have a good one.